All right, gang, welcome to alignment and distribution inside of Illustrator. Now, I need to warn you up front, this is not the most exciting topic on earth. This is the first time that I've ever done a video chapter on alignment and distribution inside of Illustrator ever. Just to help you along on your merry way, to keep you interested here, I've gone ahead and turned this project into a puzzle. So there's a little bit of intrigue, and over the course of the exercises, the puzzle will unfold. All right, so the puzzle itself is called checkerboardart.ai, and it contains this complete cacophony here of checkers that need to be organized and aligned with each other. On this layer right here called letters, we have a bunch of letters. Now, each one of these letters is a separate piece of point text. So we have black letters and colored letters in the background. Every one of them, all 32, are separate little pieces of point text. They're editable text, by the way, which means that you could end up getting a font warning. Now, I'm using a font called Rosewood for what it's worth. Rosewood Standard right there, as you can see. And that ships along with various SKUs of the Creative Suite. But if you don't have it, don't worry about it. Just sit back and watch me right now. In a future exercise, I will give you a version of this document in which the letters have been converted to outlines. But I can't do that yet, because the structure of the letters, whether they're editable text or whether they're outlined letters, makes a big difference in terms of how you align the text inside of Illustrator. So for now, you're going to need the font if you're going to work along with me. All right, so I'm going to turn off letters, and I'm going to switch to the checkers layer right here. And we want to start things off by aligning this central group of checkers. Now, even though the checkers are a total mess, and so are the letters. Everything's completely a big mess at this point. The checkers are in the rough locations where they need to be. In other words, the top left checker is in the top left corner of the artboard, and the top right checker is located in the top right corner of the artboard, and so on. So I have roughly laid things in place, but nobody's in the proper, actual, real position at this point. So we're going to start things off by aligning this group of 4 checkers right here in the middle. And I'll tell you something about the artboard and the checkers. They are scaled to fit. So the size of the artboard is 640 points wide and 640 points tall. The size of each and every checker is a quarter of those measurements I just told you. So 160 points wide and 160 points tall. So each checker is a 16th of the size of the overall artboard, and there are 16 checkers in all. So they're going to fit beautifully to the artboard. Now we're going to start things off by aligning things manually. Now, there are alignment options that we're going to discuss in all kind of detail that are available both in the control palette up here, assuming that the black arrow tool is selected, and in the align palette, which I have open over here on the right-hand side of the screen. If you want to open your align palette, you can go to the window menu and choose the align command. You also have a keyboard shortcut of Shift F7. And the Align palette contains a few unique options down here, but most of the options also appear in the Control palette, assuming, of course, that the black arrow tool is active and you have a few objects selected here inside of your illustration. However, we're going to start things off by not using any of those alignment options, but rather aligning things manually, which is very common inside of Illustrator, by taking advantage of snapping. So you want to go to the View menu and make sure that Snap to Point is turned on. If it doesn't have a check mark next to it, go ahead and choose that command. You've got a keyboard shortcut. I don't use it, but it's there in case you want to take advantage of a Control-Alt-Quote or Command-Option-Quote on the Mac. All right, but here's what we're going to do. Assuming that Snap to Point is turned on, deselect everybody, grab this checker right there, and drag it by its point. Very important that you're able to drag it by its point. If you're having problems doing that, it's probably because your bounding box is turned on, and you need to make sure that bounding box is turned off. So notice this. I'll go ahead and choose Show Bounding Box from the View menu. And you can see now that this guy totally gets in the way of your ability to drag the square by its corner point. And that means you're not going to be able to manually align it with this other square up here. So what you want to do is you want to go to the View menu and choose Hide Bounding Box to get rid of that. Control-Shift-B or Command-Shift-B. That's a good keyboard shortcut to bear in mind, because you may find that you want to flit back and forth between showing the bounding box and hiding the bounding box. Generally speaking, however, I leave it turned off. And then, once it's off, go ahead and drag this corner point right there and snap it into alignment with that corner point. So the top left corner point of the beige square snaps into alignment with the bottom left corner point of this sort of violet square above it. And you'll see a little snap cursor, so you'll see the white arrowhead to show you that things are indeed snapping into place. Then grab this guy right there and snap it into place, and then grab this guy right there and snap it into place. I'll go ahead and press Control K or Command K on the Mac and switch to the next panel of options here. Assuming that you have objects selected by path only turned on, very important, you can go ahead and select through objects like so. So you're not going to select the violet object by clicking inside of its fill, and that's going to give you a lot more control over what's going on. All right, and then I'll drag this until it snaps into alignment, and now I have the central group of 4 squares exactly where I want them. So far, so good. Not huge information thus far, but we're going to ease our way into the exciting world of alignment and distribution, one exercise at a time. In the next exercise, I'm going to show you how to take this group of 4 checkers and align it exactly where it needs to be with respect to the artboard.
Okay, editor, we got another audio pickup for Illustrator CS4 One-on-One Advanced. This is for movie 14.1. And it's about 3:20 in where the mistake is made. I say the wrong keyboard shortcut. I say Shift F6 instead of Shift F7, so I'm going to rectify that now. Here's what we're looking for.
Inside of the screen. If you want to open your Align palette, you can go to the window menu and choose the Align command. You also have a keyboard shortcut, Shift F6, for what that's.
Okay, so it goes like this. What? Fuck. Forget.
In the Align palette, which I have open over here on the right-hand side of the screen, if you want to open your Align palette, you can go to the window menu and choose.